being hurt is a sign that we are still alive, still living, and that we are open enough to humanity to be wounded by it. When I was young, at various times and for various ways, people would say, "You need some street smarts." Now, that always sounded odd to me, as if by walking up and down your block, you would become smarter. I didn't get it. It seemed to me that the only way to become smarter was through books and reading them. But they did have a point, didn't they? I know people with great street smarts. To me, that saying means an understanding of man's fallen nature and where it might be, coming for you, sting you, or take advantage of you. What's clear is that people with those street smarts didn't lick it off the ground, as they say in Ireland. They got this wisdom through an experience of being hurt. Now, we've all been hurt by circumstances, by people, and simply by chance. A bird in flight is woundable, as the saying goes. By itself, being hurt is a sign that we are still alive, still living, and that we are open enough to humanity to be wounded by it. No problem. What is a problem is when we assume that we have been hurt because of some deep permanent flaw that is part of us and that makes us more vulnerable or more flawed than the rest of humanity. Someone said, Margaret quotes, "Man is broken and his life's work is healing." I think that sums it up rather nicely. What happens when you accept that you were hurt because you were human, and that often a pattern of pain started with an injury, physical, psychological, emotional, or an event or events that were too much for, say, a young mind? Well, everything happens. We stop blaming others and we begin to take responsibility for healing. We can start the process of forgiveness. We recognize that while we are only on earth for a short time, there are extraordinary experiences of connection to be had with other people who have also been hurt and who also need to heal. So maybe street smarts on an elevated level is simply being smart enough to recognize that being human means experiencing hurt. Being human means being obliged to try to heal. Being human means that we are in someone else's bad books too, meaning someone else has been hurt by us and is trying to heal from what we did. Now, maybe we could push their canoe along by apologizing. It's out there. It's out there. That's all I'm saying. But those of us who focus hard on the spiritual end of things do so because we know that what has to heal in us is our spirit. Physical wounds heal, and sometimes they even leave scars, I think scars can be good things because they can remind us that we need to heal mentally and emotionally and psychologically, and we need to heal spiritually. Now, what is spiritual healing? Well, my husband would say, remember that nobody gets away with anything. And by that he means everything is seen by God, and the actions a person commits impact them and are a sign of their pain, their anguish, and their confusion. When we hurt others, we have to answer for it, if only in our minds. In God, we have perfect safety, perfect understanding, and perfect healing. But we have to pray. We have to sit down, close our eyes, and turn ourselves over to something we cannot see, but something that will change our lives. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That's one of the Psalms. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Remember, there will always be people who want to draw you into their wounds. The current victim mentality does not help. We've all been hurt. We'll all be hurt. We're all vulnerable in some way. How you've been hurt is really the most interesting part, is how you've healed. But our goal is to resist being drawn into somebody else's wounds. Instead, we seek to draw others toward wellness where we can. And this awareness is possibly the most real and true street smarts.